Welcome to the Healing Waves Reiki podcast. I'm your host, Cathy Scarpitto, Reiki Master Teacher, spiritual mentor, intuitive, and physical therapist. This is a grounded, heart-centered space where we explore Reiki, energy, and the science and spirit of healing. How Reiki supports the body, deepens intuition, regulates the nervous system, and helps transform the experience of healing. Where Reiki meets science, intuition meets practice, and healing becomes more human. If you're curious about Reiki, drawn to deeper healing, or seeking a more connective and intuitive way to care for yourself or others, you're in the right place. Let's begin. Welcome back to Healing Waves Reiki. In today's episode, I want to explore something foundational, what Reiki actually is, and just as importantly, what it isn't. Before we can understand how Reiki supports healing, it helps to have a clear, grounded understanding of what it is and how it is experienced. Reiki can be described in many ways. It can also be communicated from a belief perspective or a physiological perspective. In order to bridge science with spirit, I will explain it in both ways and bring it into something simple and real. Reiki, as it is practiced today, originates from Japan and was founded in the early 1900s by Mikao Usui. Reiki is a spiritual healing practice that emerged from his exploration of meditation, energy awareness, and deep spiritual inquiry. The word Reiki is often translated as universal life force energy. Rei refers to a higher or universal wisdom, and Ki refers to the life force energy, the vital energy that flows through all living things. It was developed as a way to support balance, healing, and spiritual connection through presence, intention, and a hands-on or hands-above approach to energy work. Over time, Reiki spread globally and was brought to the United States by Hawayo Takada. Born in Hawaii, she experienced the healing powers of Reiki and decided to learn the practice and bring it home to the United States in 1938. Reiki has been adapted into many different forms, but the essence remains the same. A gentle practice that supports the body, mind, and spirit in returning to balance. Reiki practitioners are individuals who have undergone specific training to work with this energy system. In Reiki practice, the practitioner is understood as a channel for Reiki energy, not the source of it, but someone who facilitates and allows the energy to flow in a supportive, guided way for the recipient. And importantly, Reiki is both spiritual in origin and deeply experiential in practice. In simple terms, at its core, Reiki is a gentle, non-invasive energy practice that supports the body's natural ability to relax, regulate, and heal by bringing it into balance. It is based on the understanding that we are not only physical bodies, we are also energetic systems, and that the state of the nervous system plays a central role in how healing unfolds. When the body shifts out of stress and into a more regulated state, healing processes are better supported. Not forced, not directed, but supported. This is where Reiki becomes so interesting to me, because it is not about doing more. It is about helping the system feel safe enough to do what it already knows how to do. We often underestimate how intelligent the body truly is. Breathing, circulation, tissue repair, nervous system regulation. These are not things that we have to force the body to do. They are already happening. But stress, trauma, pain, and life experiences can disrupt that natural rhythm. Reiki offers a way to gently support a return to that rhythm. And this is where I want to connect something very important. Reiki is not separate from real life. It is not separate from healthcare. It is not separate from the nervous system. It is not separate from how we experience safety, connection, or presence in our bodies. Reiki, at its essence, is about supporting a state where healing feels more possible. And that brings me to something I've witnessed over and over again in both clinical practice and energy work. When people feel safe, seen, and supported, their system shifts. Their breath changes. Their tension softens. Their awareness expands. And their body begins to reorganize towards healing. Not because something is being forced, but because something is finally being allowed. So Reiki is less about doing and more about creating the conditions for the body to remember how to heal. Over time, many people also notice that Reiki can support a greater sense of internal awareness, something described as a softening into intuition or a deeper connection to one's own inner knowing. As you continue listening to this podcast, I want you to hold this understanding gently, not as a belief you have to accept or reject, but as an invitation to notice. Notice how your body responds to calm. Notice how your nervous system shifts when you feel supported. Notice what happens when you slow down enough to listen inward. Because Reiki is not only something that happens in a session, it is also something that can deepen your awareness of yourself. And in upcoming episodes, we'll begin to explore how this connects to nervous system regulation, intuition, and everyday healing experiences. But now let's talk about what Reiki actually looks like in practice. While Reiki is more than just a session, a typical Reiki session is very simple. The person receiving Reiki is fully clothed and usually lying down comfortably on a treatment table, or sometimes seated if needed. The environment is quiet and calm, often designed to help the nervous system soften. Low lighting, stillness, and a sense of safety. The Reiki practitioner may place their hands lightly on or just above the body in different positions, or sometimes work entirely off the body, depending upon preference or setting. There is no manipulation of muscles, no force, and no invasive technique. The role of the practitioner is not to fix anything. It is to serve as a channel for Reiki energy and to support a calm, grounded, and regulated space where the person's system can settle. And what people experience during a session can vary widely. Some people feel warmth or tingling. Most feel deep relaxation. Some fall asleep. Some simply feel still. Some see colors. Some get emotional. And some don't feel anything at all in the moment, but notice shifts afterwards. All of those are experiences that are valid. Because Reiki is not about producing a specific sensation, it is about supporting the conditions where the body can soften and recalibrate in its own way. One of the unique aspects of Reiki is that it can also be practiced over distance. Distance Reiki is based on the understanding that energy is not limited by physical proximity. In this form of practice, Reiki practitioners still serve as a channel for Reiki energy, connecting through intention, training, and focused awareness to support the recipient's system from afar. And from the recipient's perspective, it can feel similar to in-person Reiki, a sense of calm, relaxation, emotional release, or subtle internal shifts. Some people notice changes during the session, while others notice them afterward, in sleep, mood, or overall sense of ease. Again, nothing is forced. The focus remains the same, supporting the conditions for the nervous system to settle and the body to respond in its own way. What Reiki is not. It's also important to understand what Reiki is not. Reiki is not a religion. Reiki is not a replacement for medical care. It is not a diagnostic tool. It is not a cure for disease. And it is not meant to take the place of appropriate healthcare, therapy, or clinical treatment. Instead, Reiki is something that can work alongside other forms of care. It supports the internal environment of the body, the nervous system state, the sense of safety, and the capacity to receive care. And that matters because the body does not heal in isolation from how it feels while it is being cared for. In closing, Reiki, at its essence, is not about doing more to the body. It is about supporting the body in returning to balance. And as you continue listening to this podcast, I invite you to stay curious about your own experience of that, your own sense of safety, presence, and regulation in your body. In the next episode, I'll be sharing how Reiki found me and how this work became such an important part of both my personal and professional journey. But for now, I'll leave you with this. Reiki is not about fixing you. It is about supporting you in returning to yourself. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm really glad that you are continuing this journey with me. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to the Healing Waves Reiki podcast. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who may need it. Subscribe and leave a review so more people can find this work. Until next time, stay grounded, stay open, and keep healing. This podcast is intended for informational, educational, and inspirational purposes only. The content shared on this podcast is not medical, psychological, legal, or professional advice, and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any condition. Always seek the guidance of a qualified healthcare provider, mental health professional, or other licensed professional regarding your specific needs. The views expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the host. Listener discretion and personal responsibility are advised.